Oh!
Oh, hi there. Today, I'm gonna teach you how I edit all my Instagram photos. Honestly, my editing style changes every month. It really depends on my mood. A lot of people think I use Lightroom and Photoshop just because of the way my photos look, but you can achieve the same look with Snapseed. So that's what I'm gonna show you guys today. This is the photo that I am using. You've seen it on my Instagram before. The first thing I do is I tune image, just play with the basics, so brightness, contrast for this photo. Started off a little bit dark. I'm gonna go up to about 30. I'm gonna up the contrast a little bit as well. I used to love turning down the ambience, but now I'm obsessed with turning it all the way up, but not that all the way up. So I'll stick with 70. I lower the highlights. If you notice, the sky changes a lot when you lower the highlights. It just adds the blue back. So I'm gonna lower it to about 47. And then I'm gonna up the shadows a little bit just to add some more detail back into the picture. So I'll go maybe about 16. Next up is I play with the structure and the sharpness. Structure, all it does is it adds a lot more detail into the shot, so I don't want it to be too in your face. So I'll do about 20, and then for sharpen, I'll do a little bit as well. So about 8. Now for the third step, so you see there's HDRscape and grainy film. Those are my two favorite features to use for Snapseed. It literally changes the picture completely. I'll first go with HDRscape, and there's 4 different features that you can choose from, but I like to use people because I'm the focal point of the shot. I'll only go about halfway. Normally I just do between, I don't know, 5 and 20, but for this photo, I like it to be a little bit more structured, so I'll go halfway. And then I'll go into grainy film. If anyone looks at my feed right now, it has a little bit of a vintage feel to it, which I'm obsessed with. It's kind of going for like the LA vibe. The 2 filters that I use for grainy film are X03 and X04. Those are my 2 favorites, but I like the look of X03 here, so I'll go with that first. I add a little bit of grain, I don't do too much, so I tend to go 15 max. And then for style strength, the default is at 80, so I'll lower it a little bit to maybe 60. And then I'll go back into grainy film and I'll add a little bit of X04. So I won't add any grain because I've already added grain before. So go back into style strength and I'll add a little bit of X04, maybe into like 20 or 30. So for this, I'll do 30. The next step that I do is I go and play with the curves. Now this is a new step, I never used to do this before. There's really no kind of right way to play with this. Start with luminous, and what luminous does is it kind of just brightens the photo. At the top, I'll lower it a little bit. Like it's really just trial and error at this point. I'll choose a random spot on, let's say, the middle, and I'll increase it. As you can see, it adds a lot of color back into the photo. So I'll add like a little bit right there, and then here as well. And then I'll do the same with the other colors. Kind of just, you know, what I'm feeling that day. I kind of like my blues a little bit more green, so I'll lower the blues a little bit and I'll add it back with the green. Now, with the grainy film, it tends to bring the orange tones in my skin. I don't want to look like an Oompa Loompa, so I'll kind of lower the red tones a little bit. So if I show you before and after, you can already see there's a difference just in the photo already. So as second last step, I go into white balance. If you see that your picture is a little bit too blue or if it's a little too warm, then this is where you can adjust the white balance. For this specific shot, I'll increase it a little bit, so just like 2%. And then the tint, if I'm feeling a little bit more rosy tones, then I'll increase it, but I'm not today, so I'll just do it a little bit, so maybe like 1%. Now, as the very, very last step, I'll go on a brush. So this is where you can fine tune certain parts of the picture. Like if my skin is looking a little too paley vampire, then I'll go in and darken it. You can also fine tune certain parts of the background as well. For this one, my legs are looking a little too pale, so I'll lower the dodge and burn by 5%. And I'll just zoom in into the shot and essentially darken my legs. You really don't even need to go to a place to get that fake spray tan. You can literally just do it with edits. If my hair is looking a little too dark, then I will up the dodge and burn by 5%, and I'll just do it quickly on my hair. My skirt, I feel like, is also looking a little too bright, so I'll go and darken that by a little bit as well. And voila! So here's the before and here is the after. Huge huge difference, and that's kind of the look that I'm going with right now. I'm trying to bring summer back in Toronto because Toronto right now is very gloomy and very cold. That's pretty much kind of what I go through for every single shot. I hope you enjoyed it. I know everyone has their own specific editing style. This is just how I edit. Please don't take this as the right way to edit. So yeah, I will see you guys next week.
Okay, bye.
Alright, you know the drill. Please like this video if you loved it. Please comment below for other tutorials. I'm always looking for ideas. I don't know why I'm talking English accent. I'm pretty bad at it, but we're just gonna go with the flow. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe for more videos, and